They're coming back around. Okay.
Oh, you going to start?
No. I'm
Mr.
just
Talker here today. Go ahead.
No. We're back again, and we're better than ever. It's like that one of those promo commercials for like a wrestling.
Well, that espresso is really kicking in. And deep dive, closer look, where we pick a movie, kind of recap it. It's not a review. I mean, we give if we liked it or not, but it's a recap. And we've done a couple, and this next one we decided to do was the 1979 sci-fi thriller, another sci-fi, Alien, the original Alien.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott.
I think up until that time, certainly you had horror sci-fi films, but this one just redefined the genre.
Oh, it definitely. I mean, there's stuff to this day, even though
Yeah.
To me, it chills.
It's almost I'm not. This might be a bad analogy, and it's not funny, but I'm just saying it's like Jaws in space. Less is more.
Yeah.
There's something creeping around out there, throughout most of the film in the ship.
Yeah.
And you don't see it for the vast majority of the film.
And you only see it for seconds, you know. But basically, it's it's a team, right?
Yeah, it takes place. What is it? 150, 200 years? At the time.
At that time, now it's probably right around the corner. And we're still not anywhere near where they say we are.
The USS Nostromo?
I think so, yeah. But they're workers, basically, right? They
freight haulers.
They pick up freight from distant planets.
Yeah.
And they bring it back to Earth, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
You got Scorny Weaver.
Yes.
What was
Tom Skerritt is the captain.
Dallas.
Yeah.
You know the actors better than I do.
John Hurt.
And
I think it was his buddy in it. No, Harry Dean Stanton was in it. Harry Dean Stanton and Yaphet Kotto. And then
who was the
android?
The android.
Ian Holm, our favorite Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo, man, which is he ain't no Bilbo.
No, it's the farthest from that role you could possibly think.
But it just basically it shows the beginning. You just see the ship. It's on its way home. They're in hypersleep.
Yeah.
But they get woken up by a distress signal, right?
Right.
Some of you may have figured out we're not home yet. We're only halfway there.
What?
Mother's interrupted the course of our journey.
What? Yeah.
She's programmed to do that should certain conditions arise. They have.
Like what?
Seems she has intercepted a transmission of unknown origin. She got us up to check it out.
A transmission? Out here?
Yeah.
What kind of a transmission?
Acoustical beacon. It repeats at intervals of 12 seconds.
SOS?
I don't know.
Human?
From the planet.
Yeah.
So they're saying, hey, we were woken up, which I love that too. Dallas goes in there to the mother, and he says, Mother woke us up because there was a distress signal. We need to land on this planet. And some of them want to do it, some of them don't want to do it. And so they end up going to the planet, and it's just desolated.
I've never seen anything like it.
It's in you don't know really what happened, and I guess you get a little more insight because Prometheus is now out, and that's supposed to be a prequel
to the original.
Yeah. But anyway, they're searching around. John Hurt comes across these what look like eggs.
Yeah.
There's a layer of mist just covering the eggs that reacts when broken. Wait a minute, there's movement.
And I'm telling you, man, that gets me every time when you see something moving around and then it just sort of flaps open and all of a sudden you
Yeah.
like it's horrible sound effects for now, but all of a sudden this spider-like creature is on his mask and he falls over. Well, then, they pick him up, they get back to the ship and they're like, Sigourney, we need, get him in there. And they get him in there and they take his suit off and it's on his face.
Yeah.
My God. What the hell is that?
And that's weird, man. That's some weird stuff. And,
Tom's scared as the
scared it wants it taken off.
right.
Oh, we gotta get it off him.
Just a minute, just a minute. I mean, let's not be too hasty. We don't know anything about it. Now, we're assuming it's feeding him oxygen. If we remove it, could kill him.
And you could tell already that the drone, wants to be careful and all this stuff. We say, no, we need to take it off. Well, as soon as they try to cut off its leg, it shoots out acid.
Where do you want to do this?
I'm making an incision just below the knuckle there.
Right here.
Stand by. Good God.
Yeah. And it doesn't it wrap the cord
And
around
you
his
see it actually get tighter around
yeah,
its
it
neck.
constricts, yeah.
So they obviously realize that they can't get it off. So they're trying to figure out what to do and all this stuff. Well, all of a sudden they say, "Hey, come back to the
medical lab."
medical lab," and it's not on his face anymore. It falls from the ceiling and it's dead.
Right.
They're like, "That's weird." John Hurt wakes up. He says he's fine, but he's hungry. They're about to go back to hypersleep because they're years away from Earth, and that's when all hell breaks loose.
I'm eating this. What's the matter? The food ain't that bad, baby. You choking? What's wrong?
What?
The iconic scene, it shoots out of his chest.
Right.
Which is they use again in Spaceballs, but we're not talking about Spaceballs.
Yeah, there was an artist, and I think you know what I'm talking about. His name was H.R. Geiger, and that his depictions of what he drew was what Ridley Scott
Dude,
took
Ridley
as a
Scott,
template.
yeah. How he, and to create that again in the 70s
Yeah.
is amazing. Now, of course, we can all probably decide now that it was a fake body and you just put John Hurt's head on it. So
Yeah.
But then you're like, how do you do that?
All practical effects, mind
Oh
you.
man!
Yeah.
So here comes this alien being. They're gonna kill it, but again, Bilbo. It's not Bilbo, but we know
Yeah.
who it is. Says no.
No, don't touch it! Don't touch it!
So it runs off, and they're like, "Well, we got to catch this thing." And they find as they're searching, they find a skin. So it's obviously getting bigger,
Yeah.
which is the most disturbing thing. And then they realize they cock up the story where Dallas he goes to the tunnels, he's going to try to corner it and kill it.
Yeah, I remember.
And that, and then we all know what happens there.
Am I Claire Lambert? I want to get the hell out of here.
Oh, God, it's moving right towards you. Move now, get out. Oh, no, not that way, the other way, God. Dallas?
Yeah.
And again, this is almost on the line of like Halloween and stuff where there's not a lot of blood and guts.
Yeah, and I give a lot of credit to Scott for that, because there was so much of that at the time.
And you can
And
use your
since.
imagination.
Yeah.
You don't need all the blood and guts.
Yeah.
So obviously Dallas is lost. The crew's in shambles. Sigourney Weaver wants answers from Bilbo.
Yeah, from Ian Holm.
From
yeah.
Ian Holm. But he's not giving him any. So she goes to the mother of the ship. Basically, their lives are expendable.
Right.
What the company, I think they call it the company. The
Yeah.
company wants them to find extraterrestrial life and bring it back. And that's why they put him on the ship to make sure that happens, whether or not the crew lives or not.
Yeah, what was Wayland Yutani?
Yeah.
Wayland Yutani was the name of it. Yeah.
So she finds that out, and that's a creepy scene too. She finds out what Mother says, and then you see
He's
you just kind of, there's an interesting story to this. And of course, she's upset, doesn't let her leave. Well, she looks at him, and all of a sudden, you see this white.
You open the door?
Yeah.
The iconic scene, and it's like, whoa. So he tries to kill her. They stop him, but like they hit him with something, and he starts wigging out.
Get her up! 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 Get her up!
Remember, he starts like flipping around, and again, that's great acting and great because it looks like a machine just malfunctioning, and so they hit him in the head. And his head pops off and white stuff goes everywhere, but they need answers. And that's another amazing thing. Now you can tell now the effects of it. It's not a head and then somebody gets in the way of the camera. And when they look back, it's the actor's head. But again, just amazing special effects. And he basically tells them, you read it, we need to find any life form. All your lives are expendable. That's all that matters here.
What was your special order?
You read it. I thought it was clear.
What was it?
Bring back life form. Priority 1. All other priorities rescinded.
And so they decide they need to blow up the ship and get on the, I guess you say the lifeboat or the light ship, whatever they say. So they're trying to set traps and stuff. Well, of course, that never goes well.
Yeah, so that's where the rest of the crew, you
Pretty
had
much
Harry
bites
Dean
the-
Stanley. Yeah.
Because at one point they're looking for the cat.
Kitty. That's a kitty. That's a kitty. Come on, baby. That's a kitty. Hey, I'm not gonna hurt you. Come on.
Yeah,
and he finds the cat, but then he finds the
which
alien.
is sad because those two guys were like good friends in the film.
Yeah,
And there was another female
she was
actress.
in Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, it might have been D. Wallace. I'm trying to remember. D. Snyder or something like
It'll
that.
pop up for you right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, Sigourney Weaver basically, tries to find him, sees that it's not. Well, she tries to get back on the ship or the live ship, but she sees the aliens on there waiting for her.
Yeah.
So she runs back onto the ship to try to stop it from self-destructing. So she pulls, I think it's the fuel cells out or something. And she's, Mother, I've taken it out. She says, well, it's too late. It's still going to self-destruct. She's like, oh, crap, what do I do? Well, she gets back. The alien is supposedly gone. So she shakes off. She's getting ready for hypersleep. And then all of a sudden she runs into the alien.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as he says in the Avengers Infinity Wars, you ever see Alien, where we're just going to shoots it out the window. She has a little monologue at the end and goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Which you think it's going to be one and done, but we're not talking about Aliens 2. So that's how it ends. And that's kind of the review on it. Flip to you. What did you think of the movie? What did you think of when you first saw it? And how is it on your list now? Do you rate it high or low? Or
Well, I wasn't as familiar with this as I guess I grew up. So that was 79. Aliens came out in 86. See, I was 5 years old. A few years later, I actually watched that one. Then I saw the original. And there is a sharp contrast between the two. Because this one's more atmospheric, it's more claustrophobic.
Oh, yes.
A lot
and
more.
You're so far from home.
Yeah. I think it's a more, obviously, it's a more intelligent. Aliens is more straightforward. You got space marines and stuff, and a whole bunch more aliens. This is more of an intelligent, my opinion, storyline.
And it's a mind bender. It's a sci-fi thriller, and it is horror too.
Yeah.
Kind of like The Thing we talked about before. I remember the first time I saw this as a kid, I was terrified. Just terrified. Like I said, that thing that looks like a spider flying at you. I mean, I still jump to this day if I see something go across my face.
Well, and you had, like in Ian Holm, you had the guy who's basically an emissary or a tool of Weyland-Yutani, and we all know, like big corporation stuff. Basically, human beings are expendable for the sake of scientific research
and maybe even profit. Honestly,
yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, there's some parallels there that you can kind of adapt to today. But I am a huge Ridley Scott fan, and I know we'll probably dive into that, in further videos. But yeah, this one's pretty high on my list. I like to watch it because it still creeps you out, and it's a great story.
Yeah, the story's great. Sigourney Weaver, okay.
It put her on the map.
Yes. And, it was able to let her jumpstart and, of course, into various vehicles, a show range after that. So thank goodness for Ridley Scott for, that opportunity and the film as an opportunity as a vehicle for, because really at the time in and around that time, you were very hard pressed to find, especially in this genre, a movie that had a female protagonist.
Yeah.
A heroine. And, Sigourney Weaver just pulls it off like nobody's business. It's just really great. I think
Knocks it out of the park.
The rest of the cast, uniformly very impressed. Tom Skerritt, who was established at the time, great actor. Harry Dean Stanton, Roger Ebert coined the Stanton-Walsh rule. Any movie with either Harry Dean Stanton or J.T. Walsh can't be all that bad. And then John Hurt, Ian Holm.
I think we went down this already.
Yeah, so down the line, I'm just really, to this day, I love it.
Oh, it's great, yeah. So, definitely need to check that out if you hadn't checked it, because it's definitely a good one. We will see you down the road. taking a closer look. That's horrible. How do I want to send this on? We'll see you in another one.